Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're setting the stage for something pretty dramatic, actually, a deep dive into the origin story behind the 5-second rule.
Yeah, you shared some really fascinating material with us. It outlines not just the rule itself, which so many people know, but the really intense personal crisis that actually sparked it.
Exactly. So our mission today is to look at the genesis of Mel Robbins' technique. We want to go beyond just the simple countdown.
Right, and analyze how this moment of, well, total desperation and failure ultimately gave birth to this almost ridiculously simple tool.
A tool for overcoming procrastination, anxiety, that kind of paralyzing fear we all feel sometimes.
It really is a stunning case study,
Mhm.
finding something so profound when you're seemingly at rock bottom.
And when we say rock bottom, the sources make it clear this was a genuine crisis point. We're talking age 41, unemployed.
And facing, what was it, $800,000 in debt.
Yeah, $800,000. And watching her husband's business just completely collapse. It's overwhelming just reading about it.
The feeling she describes is total paralysis, physical and mental.
And it's important to see the context, right? This wasn't just a sudden downturn.
No, not at all. It followed like a decade of trying different things, none of which really worked out.
The career path listed in the material is, well, it's quite a list.
Yes.
Public defender,
Big firm lawyer, various startups, business development.
life coach, radio host, even a paint-your-own-pottery studio.
Yeah, it sounds like she was just throwing things at the wall, searching for the one thing that would work that would pull them out of this mess. But nothing did. She felt lost.
And the coping mechanisms she fell back on then they're brutally honest in the source material.
And deeply relatable, unfortunately. It's this textbook avoidance pattern.
Hitting the snooze button constantly, right?
Yeah.
To avoid facing the day.
Yep. Using alcohol to kind of numb the stress. And maybe the most painful, blaming her husband. Shifting that responsibility.
That avoidance seems key here. The material stresses that.
It really is. When you're under that kind of financial and emotional pressure, anxiety basically hijacks your brain.
So even tiny things felt huge.
Exactly. Getting out of bed, opening the mail, those bills piling up, applying for just one job. It all felt, as she put it, impossible.
She knew logically what she needed to do.
Sure. But the emotional effort, the sheer dread of starting was just too much. Her mind kept finding reasons not to move.
Okay, so let's get to this turning point. She's lying in bed one morning, same anxiety, same overwhelm.
Now this weirdly simple thought just cuts through the noise.
An image, right, a NASA rocket launch countdown.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Such a powerful contrast, her chaos versus this image of precision, of unstoppable liftoff.
And in that moment, her brain's kind of shut down analytically.
Right. And the thought, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just pops in. And here's the genius of it, the mechanism.
Didn't analyze it.
No, she just did it. Counted backward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And physically launched herself out of bed.
That countdown forced the action. But okay, why backward? Why 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
That's what's so interesting, the psychological detail. Counting forward apparently gives your prefrontal cortex, the thinking, analyzing, worrying part of your brain, time to jump in.
Okay. Time to think of all the reasons not to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But counting backward, especially knowing you have to move at 1, it creates this tiny deadline. It forces the action before your conscious mind can engage the doubt, the fear, the excuses.
It's like a point of no return. You're launching before you can abort the mission.
Precisely. It interrupts that hesitation loop.
And that interruption, that's the whole game. Because the insight she had wasn't just about the countdown itself.
No, it was the realization that followed immediately after.
Wait a minute, I feel terrible, but I can still do what I need to do.
Exactly that. It completely broke the link between feeling motivated and taking action.
Which is huge. We usually think we need to feel ready first.
Right. The rule taught her, look, action is the answer. If you wait to feel ready or inspired or comfortable, you'll just never start. It's a trap.
So once she saw it worked for getting out of bed, she started applying it everywhere.
Pretty much. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Answer the alarm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick up the phone to call that contact. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finally open that terrifying stack of bills.
It became about creating these tiny, consistent forward movements.
Micro moves, yeah, that was the beginning.
Okay, but if it was that simple, why did it still take years to, get out of that massive debt hole?
Yeah, that's a really crucial piece of context the sources emphasize. The rule isn't like a magic wand for your problems.
It doesn't make the debt disappear.
No, it's a tool to make you start the hard work needed to fix the problems. And the next couple of years were incredibly tough, a real grind.
So she's using the rule just to face the day-to-day struggle.
Yes, clawing out of debt, dealing with serious marriage problems, pushing through all that self-doubt while trying to update a resume. It was intense.
Working full-time, raising kids.
Right. Full-time job, 3 kids, then coming home and spending nights and weekends desperately trying to figure out ways to make extra money.
And her husband started using it too.
Yeah, the sources mention that. Seeing how it helped her just take that first step, he started using 5-4-3-2-1 to face the really difficult aspects of his failing business head on.
So the rule works, but it needs consistent effort. It's not passive.
Definitely not. It demands that you keep showing up, keep launching yourself day after day.
Yet even though she had this powerful tool, she kept it secret for 3 years.
Yeah, for 3 whole years. Which really tells you something, doesn't it?
It speaks volumes about self-doubt, I think. She didn't share it because, well, she didn't know the science behind why it worked.
Right. And also, look at her situation. She felt completely unqualified to give anyone advice. As she said, I didn't feel like I was in a position to give anybody advice.
Total imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
waiting for some kind of external validation or credential.
Textbook case. And the way it finally came out publicly was, well, pretty mortifying for her. According to the accounts, it was totally accidental.
She got recommended for a TEDx talk.
Yeah, an early one on career change. And apparently she only took the gig because it included a free trip to San Francisco, which they desperately needed.
Okay, so what happened on stage sounds like an actual nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Walks out, sees 700 people looking at her.
Yeah.
And just freezes. Full-blown panic
Just
attack.
21 minutes on camera.
Yep. Physically felt her chest and neck flushing bright red, just completely falling apart up there.
And then, about 19 minutes in, she loses her place entirely.
Totally blanked. Forgot the ending she'd planned. And in that moment of just sheer panic, she blurted out the 5-second rule.
Because she couldn't think of anything else to say.
Pretty much. It was like a Hail Mary pass in her mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then, that talk, that breakdown moment, it went viral.
Insanely viral, became one of the most watched TEDx talks ever. She accidentally left her email address in the description.
Oh, no.
Yeah, her inbox just exploded. But here's the thing. People weren't mocking her. They were writing these incredibly moving emails.
About how the rule was helping them.
Exactly. Sharing these profound stories about how 5-4-3-2-1 was changing their lives. It made her realize this struggle, motivation, fear, procrastination, it's universal. Everyone fights it.
The range of uses described in the anecdotes is pretty amazing. People using it for job changes.
Losing huge amounts of weight, like 100 pounds, getting sober.
Launching businesses, selling businesses, fixing marriages. It's incredibly broad.
And then you look at the clinical side. That's maybe even more surprising.
Doctors and psychologists started using it.
Yeah, for treating serious conditions. PTSD, OCD, depression.
Why does it work there?
Because it fundamentally breaks that cycle of rumination, that obsessive negative thought loop that keeps people stuck. 5-4-3-2-1 forces a mental gear shift and interruption.
And the material highlights something even more profound.
The suicide prevention aspect.
Yeah.
Over 1,000 people apparently wrote to her saying they used 5-4-3-2-1 in that critical moment.
To stop themselves.
To physically stop themselves from attempting suicide and instead use those 5 seconds to call someone, to reach out for help.
That just elevates it way beyond a simple productivity hack.
Absolutely. It's a survival tool in those cases.
So that flood of feedback must have changed things for her.
It forced a pivot. She realized this wasn't just her weird little trick anymore. She put her lawyer hat on, as she says.
Started researching.
Became obsessed with it. Researching habits, motivation, behavioral science, trying to figure out why this simple thing actually worked. Needed to prove it, maybe more for herself than anyone else.
And the conclusion she came to, based on all those real-world stories and therapist accounts.
It was profoundly simple, almost anti-guru.
Mm-hmm.
Small, consistent, action, changes, everything.
It's not about grand gestures. It's about that tiny push repeated over and over.
Exactly. 5 seconds at a time.
But even as it was getting popular, she still felt like an imposter.
Oh, yeah, that feeling lingered. She talks about speaking in, really unglamorous places.
Church basements, realtors at a bar.
Breaking out in hives before going on, often not even getting paid for it, still feeling like, what right do I have to talk about this?
Still waiting for permission, in a way, from the scientific community or someone official.
Right. Which raises that big question for you listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you waiting? Waiting for the right time, waiting for someone else's permission, a degree, an expert nod, a title, before you act on your own idea, your own goal.
She realized that waiting is its own kind of trap. The only permission needed was her own.
And once she really claimed that, decided, okay, this is serious. I need to treat this like a business and actually get paid for my expertise. The acceleration was incredible.
Year 1, 17 paid speeches.
Year 2, 47 speeches. Enough to finally quit her day job.
And year 3.
99 speeches, plus a massive 24-city tour with J.P. Morgan Chase.
Wow. She became one of the most booked female speakers globally.
Yep. And she used every single dollar coming in to pay down that $800,000 debt, just chipping away at it.
And her answer when people asked about her credentials, her PhD.
It was brilliant, totally authentic. No, she'd say, I learned everything the hard way by screwing up my own life and then having to fix it.
That's earned expertise right there.
Absolutely. And that experience, that evidence from real lives, paved the way for the book.
She self-published the 5-second rule in 2017.
And it just took off, became the most successful self-published audiobook ever. Translated into, 41 languages now.
That success then fueled her ongoing mission, right? Sharing simple, actionable tools.
Yeah, leading to things like the high five habit. Using that simple gesture, high-fiving yourself in the mirror, to consciously rewire your mindset for self-confidence.
And building her media company, 143 studios.
Right, producing content for huge partners, Starbucks, LinkedIn, Headspace. It just kept growing.
You know what really stands out from this whole timeline?
What's that?
Is that it's not a story about some young genius having a breakthrough.
No, definitely not. The timing is crucial.
Judy was 41 when the idea first hit her.
46 when she gave that first paid speech.
49 when the book came out.
At 54 when she launched her podcast, which became globally top-ranked. It really drives home the point that it's never too late.
And that success wasn't one big moment.
No, it was built on, as she puts it, thousands of mornings where she felt that dread, counted down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just forced herself to take that first tiny step again and again.
So wrapping this up, what's the core takeaway from this deep dive for you, the listener?
I think the story of the 5-second rule is ultimately about mastering one really crucial life skill.
Which is?
Pushing past your own fear and self-doubt using a deliberate conscious interruption. That 5-second countdown.
And the results, whether it's just getting out of bed or something huge like launching a business, they come from those small, consistent forward moves.
Not from waiting until you feel perfectly motivated or perfectly ready, because that day might never come.
So the overarching message distilled from her whole journey in these sources.
It's that fundamental truth about self-permission, isn't it?
I want this coming.
Right. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself, really, from yourself, from your own hesitation and fear.
The only permission you ever need is your own.
So the challenge to you, listening now, is maybe to think, where are you stuck? Where in your life are you paralyzed by overthinking?
Where do you need that immediate 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 launch? Right now.